little bit of delicate, a little bit of bad, a little bit of well, I never, a little bit of that. It takes so much to be a lady. 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 To be a lady. A little bit spicy, a little bit of cute, a little bit of oh he's charming, a little bit of brute, a little bit of my place, a little bit of yours, a little bit of what a weekend, a little bit of war. It takes so much to be a lady. 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 To be a lady.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Sulk stream. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing fine. I hope you're doing okay. I still don't feel well. This one was a doozy. And, yeah. But I feel so bad. I feel so bad when I let you people down that I just have to. I feel guilty that I don't come on here and at least deliver something. The best I can do. Right? It is all I have in life besides my wife and my kids. But, I mean, like, whatever. Thank you for coming. What is today? Monday. It's a Monday. I actually dragged myself out of bed to come do this. Because, damn. That's the thing about having kids. Is like you're going to be sick at least once a month. And that's going to last about 4 to 6 weeks. And so for the first 5 or something years, you're going to be sick constantly. And, I have another kid, so I'm going to be sick constantly. And I'm fucked up. I'm telling you, I am fucked up. And I probably shouldn't be streaming because this actually does take quite a bit out of me. I'm sorry, babe. I had to. I'm sorry, I had to. I just had to. We were in the middle of the movie, and then you went to go put the baby down, and I was like, I have to. Because these animals demand it from me. It's like blood from a stone. They just like extract every little bit out of me.
Did she fire you already? I'm about to.
I'm gonna get fired.
Look at these.
From a fucking cannon into the sun. So yes. What? I'm fine. I'm okay. Stop. I'm alright. I'm feverish and I'm barely able to stand. But it's okay because I can sit the entire time. Tonight we're talking about unemployment. And you will not have a job forever. And that is not necessarily a good thing because you need money. You need money. You definitely need money. And they're trying to lay off as many people as they can left and right. And you will be one of them. So I'm sorry. I hope you guys pay me though. I hope I get donations or something like that because I dragged myself out here to do this. And yeah. Yeah. It might not be my best work. I'm not going to say it's going to be my best work, but I'm here. I'm going to deliver a show. Fucking if it kills me. If it fucking kills me, I'll do it. Because that's how much I... Don't tell me it's echoing. Don't tell me it's echoing, man. Don't fucking tell me it's echoing. Come on, man. Don't fucking tell me it's echoing. If it fucking kills me, I'll do it. God damn it. don't want to deal with audio shit right now, man. I don't want to fucking deal with audio shit right now. How do I fucking not deal with audio shit right now? How do I not deal with audio shit right now? Like, what can I do to not deal with audio? Audio input capture. How do I not fucking deal with audio shit right now? Right, because that's fucking deal with audio shit right now. Why does it sound like that? Fuck me, dude. I don't even know. Set it to 11 and scream. Just start screaming. It's... All right, where would it be coming in? Where would it be coming in? I have to change my entire shit, don't I? I have to change. Hold on, I have to change my fucking settings or something like that. Oh, man. I don't feel good enough to be doing this. All right, how about that? Is that better? Hold on. Hold on. How? I don't feel good enough to be doing this. All right. How about that? Is that better? Hold on. That's not better. Okay. I only have the one mic. Yeah. But maybe it's catching multiple inputs. So I don't have an output capture. It's not the white cam. Because it's only going in through my my fucking microphone. Have your producer do it. He can't. He can't. He can't do it. I have to do it. Don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea where it could possibly be coming from. Don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea where it could background noise says, "Did you try jailing the handle?" What fucking handle, bro? Does that... How about that? How about that? Can you guys still hear me? Don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea where it could background noise says, "Did you try jailing the handle?" What fucking handle, bro? Does that... How about that? How about that? Can you guys still hear me? There we go. There we go. Am I coming a little soft though? Don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea where it could background noise says, "Did you try jailing the handle?" What fucking handle? Look, bro? I know what we're doing here. Just like, does that... How about that? How about that? Can you guys still hear me? There we go. There we go. Am I coming a little soft though? I might be coming a little bit soft. I have no idea. I might be coming a little bit soft. Does it sound good now? I think it sounds good now. Might have to pop this shirt off because I'm probably running a favor in it. Free side says for preserving through audio. I'm not gonna. There's no gusto. There's no gusto in this. Dying of AIDS, probably. Dude, I let too many dudes just, fucking nut right up into my stuff, and then go. Here we go. I got AIDS. I got fucking AIDS. Here I am. At least I showed up. At least I fucking showed up. At least I showed up, and I'm doing the thing. And I forgot to do the whole Sulk stream start, where it's like, how's everybody doing tonight? And airplane food and shit like that. I don't fucking care. I don't. Here, we're gonna do this. We're gonna start.
Many people have realized this at this point.
Because I don't fucking care. Okay? There's something about a car. If you're working, there's a drink involved. I'm not doing well.
That
Okay.
everybody is getting fired, nobody's getting hired, and people are getting replaced with AI and robotics. Have you guys noticed that?
I got laid off today. After 10 years.
It's because you ugly. This is the problem. That's the issue. Next question. Next applicant, please.
I told you guys I was let go today after 20 years.
I keep getting job offers that are extremely.
I don't run a business or anything like that. I mean, I technically do, right? It's just not successful or profitable, okay? But if I were to hire like a secretary or something like that, she wouldn't be gross. She wouldn't be ugly, okay? So all these ugly chicks piling on in and being like, why did I lose my job? It's because you can't fucking focus on your beauty. The only asset that you have, right, is your youth and your beauty. And like, I know you have no control over your youth and stuff like that. That is a fleeting, that's like a butterfly in the breeze, right? You try to catch it and shit with Botox and fucking, whatever shit you inject into your body to make yourself look fucking 10 years younger. It never works. But at least you cannot be fucking gross looking. I mean, like, it's not like chicks are fucking unanimously ugly. It's just 90% of them are goddamn fat. Most of them are fat. You're not fat. You're just, you don't look like a human.
They lowered wages
Yeah?
due to them knowing people are desperate.
I got laid off in May. It is now the end of October.
She could be cute if she reeled in those caterpillars crawling around above her eyes.
Wow.
Look at all these open tabs. The job hunt right now, you guys. If you got a job, just keep it. Okay?
Amazon recently announced their
Background noise says I came to Sulk Stream and all I got was a t-shirt. Good, because I make money off of those. I make like $5 whole. And I don't know how many I've sold. I think I've sold like 10. And honestly, I'd rather you buy a shirt than fucking give me that $5 just because I think it's cool when people out there are wearing my merch. It's a thing about my I don't know. Don't make me explain shit. Come on. Don't make me explain.
largest corporate layoff, cutting
I think that there's
Give me money. Don't get me wrong. Give me money. But like, if you already have a shirt, just give me the money. But like, if you don't have a shirt, buy a sweatshirt. Buy a Psychopathic Tendency sweatshirt or something like that. Arden Sherry, can you post a link? But like, I mean, otherwise, send me the motherfucking money, dude. And if not, at least hit the goddamn like button. I don't ask anything of you guys. I literally do not ask anything. I am on death's door, hopefully. And I crawled out of bed to sit in this goddamn stinky chair through my own doing. This is a stinky chair this is my stink. Just to fucking please you guys. Just to please you guys. I disappointed my wife, not only sexually, but in other areas as well, to come and do this. So there you go.
A lot of people in these PR, marketing, and fake jobs at these companies, and the companies are starting to realize, hey, wait a minute, we don't need to pay this girl to come here and drink boba tea for 8 hours and then complain that somebody said something.
Useless. Women are useless in the workplace. They've always been useless in the workplace. I've seen this firsthand. I have seen this firsthand. Right? You make up departments just so you can put women places, because it is a law, at least in California, it's a law to have a certain percentage of your workforce be female. And so places that did not, like a plumbing company or something like that, or a septic company that didn't have departments like HR or like scheduling or bullshit like that before, now they have them, because they have to have a place to put these women, right? And they also have to pay them an equal amount of money for doing not even 10% of the same amount of work. Not even 10%. I've seen it. I have seen it. They do not work as hard. I promise you they don't work as hard. I've seen it in the field and shit. They don't do shit. In fact, they actually lower productivity by causing problems with fellow workmates all the goddamn time.
That made her mad, and they just fire her. Yeah.
14,000 employees, with executives hoping to eliminate 600,000 workers by 2033.
More than that.
When Amazon, the U.S.'s second largest employer, starts laying off employees, it gives cover.
Second behind like what, Walmart? And Walmart's laying off people left and right too, right? Walmart's putting in those robo tellers, right? Where you just, oh, now you work at Walmart. Now you scroll your fucking card up, and then you do the boop, 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 because it's such an easy job. We're just gonna have you do it, okay? And then we're just gonna have one person watch like six of those old booths, and they're not gonna give a fuck. Why not fucking fire the greeter? The fucking disabled guy, or the million-year-old man saying, "Welcome to Walmart, I'll fuck you in the ass." Does he need to say that? No, that's just me. I actually bought a smock, and I went to the front of Walmart, and I just said the most insane things I could possibly think of. "Welcome to Walmart, can I have your social security number?" They threw me out pretty quick. Right? They're not lacking on the security department. I'll tell you that. The whole back room where they put a finger in your ass to make sure you didn't stuff jewelry up there, they're still paying those people full price.
To other CEOs.
Of course.
UPS announced 48,000 layoffs.
48,000? You know what's going to be funny? Is that if they can, it'll be 480,000, because soon the UPS will be completely automated with machines that will take the different little packages that you get, and they will deliver them to your door themselves.
Yes, machines. All machines. Every machine. And one day, probably relatively soon, the Sulk stream will be automated, and I will be fired. And I will be set aside, and then Neo's going to sit down here, and he's going to say all the sexism and racism things that I say, right? I mean, he'll be working for me. And I'll be standing on the side, and I'll be like, "No, Neo, you have to be angry about it." And then kind of a little bit sad, too. And he won't understand and stuff. And so I'll fucking put him in a car crusher and make him into a tiny little aluminum cube. And then probably just keep doing the show after that.
YouTube is offering its employees voluntary exit packages.
Yep.
Chegg announced it was cutting
The free side says, "T-shirt idea. Welcome to Walmart. I'll fuck you in the ass." Somebody make me a design. I'll fucking sell it. I don't care.
45% of its workforce. Target cut roughly
Well, I
18.
mean, Chegg, obviously, because people don't have
With a
the...
little smiley face and everything like that. Everyday low standards. That's.
I mean, that was a book reselling
that's
place, and people don't
the
use
Sulk
books
stream.
anymore. Nobody knows how to read.
1,500 employees.
It's all digital.
GM cut roughly 1,700 employees.
Of course.
Meta, Rivian, Ford, the list
Absolutely.
goes on. And this is just for the month of October. It doesn't even cover the layoffs we've been
Neo's liable to catch these hands. I don't think it'll care though. Like, it's not going to be as satisfying, you know, because, like, when I raise my fist to my wife, she cowers and stuff. And then, you know, Neo's not going to cower. He'll just take you to the fucking chin and then it'll be like, dun, 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 dun. Right? It'll just be a red eye. I'll be like, I've made a mistake. I have made a mistake. I've started the Matrix.
Been experiencing
They're going to blot out the sun.
throughout the year. But there's one
Sure.
layoff I want to highlight. Paramount. If you watched my previous video, I mentioned how David Ellison, son of tech billionaire Larry Ellison, had
Both assholes. I don't know a thing about them. Not even a quick little Google search about them. Not a fucking... This is the first time I'm hearing their names. But I see their pictures. And I know they're both assholes. And they're both billionaires. I'm not going to say they're billionaires because they're assholes, even though that's a sign, right? You don't become a billionaire if you're a super nice guy. Don't argue with me on this. Don't be like, no, there's some billionaires that are really nice guys. Don't fucking start with me on this. Okay? But beyond that, fucking asshole. An asshole too. Looks like fucking Jake Busey over here. What are you going to go blow up the Stargate, Jake? Huh? For some religious fucking fundamentalism reason? I don't know. Fuck you.
purchased Paramount, further
Good for
growing
him.
I want to warn you. The Sulk stream tonight is going to make a little less sense than it usually does. And that's saying something. Because I don't feel good. All right? And when I don't feel good, I usually put a couple of drinks on it. Because that makes me feel a little bit better.
his media empire. Despite this open letter David sent to Paramount employees after taking over the company, claiming, "You are the heart of the..."
Gang War says that's true. Violence without fear is kind of pointless. Doesn't make you smile. I know. I mean, like, you don't even need the violence as long as the people fear you, right? Right? The violence is fun, don't get me wrong. But if they're not going to fear you, if they're just going to be slaughtered by the masses, it's just like, okay, well, this is boring. It's boring. Not even putting up a fight.
this company.
Not even putting
Well,
up a fight.
a person needs a heart, but a company doesn't.
Paramount cut 1,000 employees, with that number expected.
Don't fucking believe these people when they're like, you're the heart of the company. You're the heart of this company. You people are a family here, because they're not a family. Trust me, my dad would have fired me 1,000,000 times over if he could. But he can't, because I'm literally his DNA, right? But if I was not, he would fire my ass real fast. In no time flat. Right? However, at a company, they will fire you. No matter what. I mean, like, if you become slightly inconvenient or a slight drain on their bottom line, you're gone. I've been nothing but a drain on my parents' bottom line. You can't get rid of me. I am immune. I am completely immune. I wonder if he's watching this right now. He might be.
Be 2,000 in coming weeks.
If companies like Google and Amazon and Meta are making billions, why are they laying people off?
Oh, that's easy.
Because they're not contributing to the product and they're not valuable.
Asmongold, as many people as like, look, a lot of people have problems with Asmon, right? But here's the thing about Asmon. He will drop absolute truth bombs without even blinking. That was completely and 100% correct. And he didn't have to fucking dance around the subject at all. He's just like, well, you're not profitable and it's not making them any money, so they fired you. There is nothing more complicated about that. You became a drain on the company, and so they got rid of you. Easy enough. Easy as fucking pie.
It's pretty simple. Yeah.
Yeah.
Greed.
Yeah.
These billionaires don't care about us. They only care about showing growth to Wall.
They don't. And no one says they should. No one says they should. These billionaires don't give a fuck about you. Millionaires don't give a fuck about you. The boomers don't give a fuck about you. They don't. They're trying to make money and stuff like that. No one's saying they should. right? Unless they're like your parents or something like that. But look, there's tons of problems with the boomers. But let's just talk about millionaires and billionaires and company owners and stuff like that. There's no real reason that they have to give a fuck about you. And so they won't. And so they will not. And I know I'm like, I'm speaking to the choir here. Am I like blowing you guys up with this truth bomb here? Am I leveling you guys, being like, what? Come on. They don't give a hot fuck about you. They don't care if you can't feed your family. They don't care if you can't pay your goddamn bills or your Netflix subscription, which you should be canceling anyway, or any of your other fucking shit. They don't care about you. And you should feel the same exact way about them.
Wall Street every 3 months.
Yeah, why would they keep somebody on the payroll that they can fire? Of course.
Remember when property developer Tim Gurner said that unemployment needed to rise 40-50% to put us workers back in our place?
That's right. He just said it.
And we need to see that change. We need to see unemployment rise. Unemployment has to jump 40-50% in my view. We need to see pain in the economy. We need to remind people that they work for the employer.
That's right. We got to put them in their place.
The other way around. There's been a systematic change where employees feel the employer is extremely lucky to have them.
We got to shut this down immediately.
The dynamic that has to change. We've got to kill that attitude, and that has to come through hurting the economy, which is what the whole global, the world is trying to do. The governments around the world are trying to...
Here's what happened.
He's got a point. He's got a point. The employer doesn't need to hire you, right? They're hiring you. They're buying something off of you that is in short supply to them, right? This is basic economics, right? They pay you for your time, and they use that time as they see fit. You are, like, the company is your customer, right? And so it's not like your customer should be pleased to have you. If there's anything they can do to not be a customer, they're going to try to do that. But, I mean, there is this entire problem about how, like, if nobody ever gets hired, then nobody ever gets paid. And then how do those people buy products from these companies? They'll figure it out. I promise you, they'll figure it out. A lot of these companies have been positioning, like moving themselves away from the middle class. Vegas is a classic example. Vegas has this thing where they're trying to move away from the middle class gambler, right? And trying just to land the big fish. And they're like emptying out casinos because they're charging $25 for a goddamn cocktail. And, the buffet is $75 to get into. And they're pricing out the middle class. And so they're only trying to get these big fish that spend millions of dollars at the tables and stuff like that. But they're killing themselves in the process. They're killing themselves in the process because the magic of Vegas comes from the middle class, right? The energy comes from the people. And so now nobody's going to Vegas at all. And now not even the big fish are going there. Not even the big millionaires hitting these $25,000 minimum tables are going there because the magic's gone. And it's greed that killed them. And the same thing is going on at fucking Amazon and fucking whatever you want. Disney, whatever. Whatever you want. All of these companies are dying from their own greed. And they don't realize it. They don't realize it. And this motherfucker right here doesn't realize it either. He's right. He's right to say the employee, should be grateful to have a job. He's right about that. But on the same ticket, he's kind of fucking shooting himself in the foot.
Elon Musk took over Twitter, fired 80% of the staff, and nothing changed to the product. In fact, I think the product got better.
Of course it did. Because you didn't have fucking armies of fat, liberal, blue-haired chicks with fucking nose rings telling everybody else how to think. Right? That was the best decision Elon could have made for Twitter. Saved millions of dollars and increased the revenue by, I have no idea how much, but probably a lot. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. We're getting into a stage in capitalism, if you still want to call it that. I kind of don't, because it doesn't feel like capitalism. I mean, it feels, I'm not going to say crony capitalism, even though that would be a closer way of describing it. I would say it's something like a modern feudalism, where large companies have enough resources to shut down smaller businesses through litigation and lobby, right? But it's not strictly feudalism, because it's not being shut down by a king. Well, it could just be straight up feudalism. I don't know. Don't make me think all that hard about it, okay?
Every single other business owner.
Gang War says, company I worked for said we were family. Pfft. We got tacos all the time. Wasn't treated the best, but I guess that's a family. I mean, no. You should be getting tacos anyway. And like, look, I mean, maybe your family doesn't treat you all that well and stuff, but the tacos are good.
In the world saw that.
Freeside says corporatism. Corporatism could be a better word for it.
Everybody saw that. And after that, it's bot crazy now. YouTube is bot crazy too, but YouTube didn't fire 80% of its staff. So is Facebook. Facebook didn't fire 80% of its staff. It's still riddled with bots. Bots are everywhere on the internet. Twitch, not Twitch. Well, there's bots there too. Twitter is not unique.
Unemployment.
What is
Look, 80% of the internet is not real. So, I mean, whatever, he fired 80%. Like, they can't even get rid of the bots if you hired back that 80%. That wasn't their job. The 80% was just like cultural shit and being like, how could we make Twitter gayer? How could we stifle people's free speech more? And they're doing a pretty good job of that now on Twitter. You ever try to say the F slur or the N word or anything, any of those fun, cool words? No, they'll shut you down immediately. Everyone's just being replaced by AI and robots and shit. And there's no system to be like, we got you. You're going to be okay. You can afford a place to live and a small bit of land and food to feed your family. We don't have that system. We are in the hard times. We are in the transition period. You got to fucking buckle up, guys. You got to buckle the fuck up. It's going to suck for a while. And I'm not a fan of it either. Trust me, I'm not. But you have to. You got to. Because it will be tough. And it's going to get tougher. These next 2 or 3 years, maybe 4, are going to be pretty hard. I'm not going to lie to you. Right? There's probably going to be a war. And a lot of you, all these people in this chat, a lot of you are going to die. Gang War, dead. Nom's dog, dead, hopefully. Obedient, he's probably okay. Despite, dead. I'm just saying. Shit is not going to get better for a while. So, like, buckle down, invest in some physical commodities like silver or gold or something like that. Get something that you can fix as a car, and then make sure you have a solid place over your head, right? Just get prepared. Get a gun.
isn't discussed enough is the shadow layoff system. More companies are...
Knobs, shut the fuck up. Like you didn't know exactly what... Come on.
hiring
Shadow
part-time
layoffs.
and contract workers as a means to cut costs. This means for
Yeah,
the
of course.
workers, no retirement plans, no healthcare
right.
benefits, and no severance package. The WARN Act doesn't require corporations
Look,
and
all this Social Security, all these severance packages, all these 401ks weren't meant for us. They were meant for boomers. They were meant for boomers. Those are the people who voted for them. The boomers are the people who voted to fucking continuously borrow and borrow and borrow and pay for ridiculous things that didn't benefit the American people one iota. One iota. And this is the trade-off, right? The boomers get to have a luxe life, a beautiful life of abundance and ease, as long as they sold their children down the river. And they did that absolute without any sort of reservation, without even a drop of consideration towards their children or their grandchildren. They're like, fuck yeah, sign me up. Fuck them kids. Boom, boom, boom. And I don't even think they're aware of it. I don't think they want to be aware of it. They're just happy and they're like, I just work so hard and I'm just such a brilliant person that I made all this money and everyone behind me is lazy and entitled. And that's why they're dying in enormous numbers. It's just because they choose to do it. They choose to die. They choose not to afford things. They choose not to be able to afford to live. This is the mentality that they carry. This is the mentality that they live by, because they live by this ethos that they are better than the rest of us. That they are somehow special. And they have lived that life their entire lives. Their entire lives. And they have been in political office and the majority of the voting bloc their entire lives. They will never know differently. Never. Maybe until the day of the pillow, but who knows if that's coming.
every state to report part-time or contract workers as part of their layoffs.
Shimo says boomers will live forever. I'm afraid that might be the case. Here's the thing. Not forever. Nothing's forever, right? But we're going to approach this thing called longevity escape velocity, right? Where technology will get faster than people will age. And I predict this will happen by 2035 or 2040. We're not going to be rid of the boomers by then. So yeah, we're going to have an overclass. An overclass simply by the year they were born, they will be chosen to rule. And if you rub them the wrong way, they'll destroy you because you were born in the 80s or the 90s or something like that. Or God forbid, the 2000s. You lazy scum Gen Z. How dare you even absorb the oxygen on their planet? Go live in your car and fucking use your bodies for something good, like having sex with a goddamn old-ass boomer. That is the saddest generation, really. That's the saddest generation. Ugh.
This is why the layoff numbers might seem low, but if we account for
Dennis South says youngest boomer is 61. Yep.
all employment type, we've actually seen 13.8 million layoffs from January to August of this.
So 13 million people have been laid off in America? Isn't that like...
Knobs Dog says, welcome back to Bahama John's Boomer Rant. Are you telling me I'm wrong? I know you're not. I know you're not. Because you're here every night. You're not telling me I'm wrong. Because I'm not. I'm not wrong at all. And if somebody would like to tell me I'm wrong for this reason or that reason, please, by all means, I am sick as a dog, but I will still fucking fight tooth and nail to tell you you are wrong. You are wrong. The boomers did nothing but drain this country of every bit of opportunity, every ounce of wealth. We don't even have a goddamn penny anymore. Literally, we don't have the penny. We don't have the penny because it's worthless. We literally do not have the penny anymore because they debase the currency so greatly. But it's fine because they got their houses, in most cases, multiple houses. They own 70%. 70% of the real estate in the country. The boomers own 70% of the real estate in the country. And they're all like, well, if you want to buy it, you're going to pay my $800,000. And if you don't, well, I'll just hang on to it because I don't, I have multiple houses. I'm not going to sell it for anything less than what it's worth, blah, 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 blah. Fine, die then. But they can't. They can't because they have to sell their houses to pay for their retirement homes and their retirement and their year-long cruises and shit like that. So what's Trump do? He's all like, fine, to make sure the housing market doesn't crash, we're going to do 50-year mortgages. 50 years. So if you buy a house when you're 20, you're going to be older than boomers are today when you pay it off, but you won't. You won't live that long, so it's going to be a generational debt. What's going to end up happening is you will never own anything. You will never own anything, and you will be happy. You will own nothing, and you will be happy. Fuck that fucking Klaus Schwab guy. Fuck him, dude. I don't know if he's dead yet. He's probably not dead, but fuck that guy.
Probably 5% of the workforce. That's insane. How many people are in the U.S. workforce?
Dan Snott says 50-year mortgage is insane. 30-year mortgages are insane. 30-year mortgage is insane. A 15-year mortgage would be acceptable. 30 years, 50 years, it's gotten to a point where it's just, look, houses aren't worth that much. They're not. It's not like we don't have plenty of land. It's not like we don't have plenty of lumber and stuff like that. They're just not worth that much. We can make houses far cheaper. We can 3D print houses out in the middle of the goddamn desert. But the problem is fucking permits. It's fucking property laws. It's all these zoning bullshit laws that are the problem. That's the problem. The problem isn't houses, and we just can't build houses. It costs so much to build houses. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It's the laws. It's the laws, and it's the fucking fiat currency that you're shoving down our throats. Right? You don't change the goddamn minimum wage, but you keep fucking increasing the fucking inflation 2% every year, and that is a conservative estimate. Obviously, it's much more than 2%, especially since 2020. Come on, dude. It's not like you're not intentionally screwing us. What do we do to you? And I'm talking specifically to our boomer parents. What do we do to you? What do we do to make you hate us so bad? Right? Just being born? You just had to fucking extract every bit of value from our lives as possible and then bitch and moan about how you don't have grandchildren? How dare you? Fuck off.
10%. Oh my God.
Year. Laying off contractors or conducting performance-based exits doesn't make headlines, but accounts for up to 30% of
Bhutan, what country are you in? What country are you in?
this year's job losses. Amazon claims that they're laying off employees in an effort to operate like the world's largest startup. They claim they need to increase their efficiency. Yet in 2024, they generated 600.
Look, I'm not going to blame companies for wanting to increase efficiency. That's essentially their job, right? I'm not going to, and then skyrockets the cost of beef. This is the government. This is the laws. This is zoning as well. This is the issue. The issue is they are legally trying to kill us through laws. That's it. It's not that we don't have the technology to make these things, to have abundant housing, to have abundant food, to have reasonable rates, to have, be able to afford things. Because it shouldn't cost that much. It cost way less in the past. The problem is the laws. They're using the laws against the people and have been for 4, 5, 6, 7 decades now. And using these laws, they're making sure that people don't reproduce, have good lives, have stability, don't live the American dream.
$138 billion.
Well, that's not a good way to look at it. I don't agree with this way of looking at it. Do you want to make $640 billion or do you want to make $650 billion? Every single person, when it comes to their money, will want the company that they are invested into making $650 billion. The problem is that everybody is always very generous with other people's money. But whenever it comes to their own stocks, their own holdings, and their own ownership, well, suddenly now it's okay to cut costs.
Honey.
The reality is that these decisions are made in order to maximize shareholder value. And they are done in the best interest of those shareholders. A company should not exist.
Which is the law, by the way. A company literally, it is the law that it has to do what's best for the profit of the shareholders. Here, I'm summoning Jess.
Exist for the purpose of providing welfare.
Yeah, that was my internet. Hey, babe, can you make me another drink? Thank you.
To the state.
It's my internet. It's my VPN doing VPN things.
Or to the public. That is not a company's job. A company's job is to function as a problem-solving device, right? It solves some sort of problem. It performs some task. It does something. It's a company's primary function is not to employ people. It's to provide a service.
He's right. It is. And we're getting into a stage of automation where we're not really going to need everybody on the planet. And what do you think they're going to do when basically every job, let's say we don't need 4 billion people on the planet. Do you think the elites are just going to let them live their best lives, have free housing and just, own their own land and live and then reproduce, more importantly, as much as they want and then just, live in some sort of utopia? 4 billion people. That's not even that it's a majority of the planet, but 3 billion still required to maintain. Can you give me another one of these two? This one's empty. Required to maintain things going. No, they're not going to allow that. They're not going to allow that. No. It's not going to be a Soylent Green kind of situation. They're going to murder these people. They're going to eliminate them. And this is all part of the problem. This is all part of the plan. This is the entire Agenda 2030 bullshit. It stems back all the way from, 9/11. And then also a big part of it was the bloated number before 20. This is all involved. When everyone got those stupid fucking shots. You think those shots are fucking for your health? Don't be fucking stupid. Don't be so fucking naive. That shit's gonna kill you. And I'm sorry if you got it. But it's true. It will.
Seems they're operating at pretty
Dan Snow says piss in it, Jess. Like I'd fucking care. I'd still drink it.
high efficiency. While most headlines are focused
yeah,
on...
but wouldn't you want more efficiency? Yeah, wouldn't you want more? Wouldn't you want them to be better?
AI, Amazon has been building an...
Again, companies should be as efficient and as productive as possible. I'm not faulting them for using AI. I'm not faulting them for using robotics, right? I'm not faulting companies at their core at all, right? If you don't need people, don't hire people. But my main question is, what happens very soon when you don't really need people at all? everything is just a robotic construction line, and everything's delivered to your house through drones and made by robots. And, you know, you call customer service and it's like, hello, my name is Siri or whatever bullshit. What happens? What happens? I know I'm not the first person to think about this. I know they've been thinking about this for a long time. The people in control of the planet are not stupid. They're not naive. All right? They're not. They're making your lives harder on purpose. Cars shouldn't be $100,000, but they are. Houses shouldn't be $500,000, but they are. You think this is an accident? No! Of course it isn't. You're getting fucked in the ass on purpose. And they're putting it in dry too, right? Because they don't give a fuck. I mean, like, the harder they can get you to work, the better for them, right? If you can work yourself to death so you can get a little crumb of what you assume is the American dream, which is, let's be honest, is dead. It's dead. It's gone. Then they're happy. They're fucking thrilled, right? They'll fucking throw you a couple crumbs if you work yourself to death. I'm not offering solutions. I have none. I have zero solutions. But I am stating the problem. That's at least step one. I am laying out the situation that we are currently in. That is the best I can do. I have no solutions.
Army of robots.
That's
a
right.
leaked internal document shows executives
That's
hoping
right.
they can eliminate 600,000 roles by using robots.
That's right.
And they know
Thank God. Thank God. People that work in Amazon fulfillment centers, that's probably the least.
Bhutan says, John, do you remember that time you thought you died and woke up in a simulation? No.
Fulfilling job that you could ever have. It sucks dick. You probably get injuries. You're overworked. I mean, didn't they have a bunch of people working in one of those factories that were told that they had to stay inside, and then they ended up being killed by a tornado? I mean, these are terrible jobs.
They don't give a fuck about you. But why should they? The company is not the problem. The company is not the problem. The government is the problem. The people who make these laws, who stifle your ability to live freely, to pursue happiness, because that's a fundamental right of being an American, is to pursue happiness, right? Along with wielding firearms as much as you see fit, and saying exactly what you want too. It doesn't matter if you're on a private company's platform or not. You have a legal right to say whatever the fuck you want. It's not about, oh, they're a private company so they can censor whoever they want. That's not it. No, that's not it at all. You're an American. You have the right to say whatever the fuck you want on whoever's platform you choose. Because that's the law in the United States. So Twitter, suck my fucking dick. YouTube, suck my asshole. I should be able to say whatever the fuck I want on your platform because you operate in the United States, where my rights have a certain gravity, a certain pull. You're not allowed to censor me just because it's a private platform. Shut the fuck up.
Nobody grows up and says, oh, I know what I want to do. I want to take the box from the conveyor belt and put it in the truck. Nobody wants to grow up and be that person.
I would disagree with him. Everybody wants to feel useful. And even to the small degree that might be, as long as you're feeling like your work is contributing to something greater, it doesn't matter how small it is. But when people go to work at Amazon, it is unfulfilling. Even though they work at a fulfillment a fulfillment, whatever, warehouse or something. It is unfulfilling. They don't feel like they're contributing to society as a whole. And not only that, they don't feel like they're contributing to their own families. They feel like they're making absolutely nothing and doing absolutely nothing. You can't have both, right? You can contribute nothing to society as a whole, or you can contribute nothing to your family and contribute to society, right? There's examples of this as like volunteer programs where you don't make a lot of money, but you're doing good, as like Doctors Without Borders or something like that. And then you could like fucking carry boxes, but you're making enough to give your family a nice 2-story house with 2 cars and like a comfortable living. You can't do both. You can't do both and just make barely enough to survive. This is why people are getting angry. This is why people are fucking popping off on TikTok and shit like that. And this is not going to last. It's not going to last. Eventually, people are going to have enough. And that's when they're going to start really getting violent.
People take these jobs because they have to, not because they want to.
How bad this sounds. That's why also in the document they discuss
Arden Shara says it's our fault we let it happen. Well, yes. Technically, yes. But here's the thing about that. It was a tiptoe. It was a frog in a boiling pot, right? You didn't know when to fight back or, freak out or anything like that. But now the water's pretty fucking hot. Now you don't know what to do. It was sneaky. Yes, it is technically our fault as a civilization, letting ourselves, get into this mire. So what now? That is a legitimate question that's not rhetorical or anything. I want an answer.
replacing words like automation, AI, and robot with the term advanced technology. But here's the dystopian reality. Back in June, Amazon CEO Andy Jassy addressed all the employees about AI and automation. We have strong conviction that AI agents will change how we work. There will be billions of these agents. We will need fewer people.
Billion.
Look, a lot of this is not about like AI, automation and stuff. A lot of it is. Don't get me wrong. But a lot of it's not, right? A lot of these jobs that people are hired for were unnecessary in the first place, right? It was just every politician came in and was like, I'm going to increase jobs. I'm going to make sure people have more jobs. And so in our late stage of society, in our techno-feudalism that we have today, people were getting jobs that did not need to be had, especially women. Right? Okay, you sit here for 8 hours a day, and you're in charge of fucking Twitter, and you're gonna make $100,000 a year. Is that a job? Is that really not that necessary? No! Fuck no! Fuck no! But the politicians wanted us to have jobs, so here you go. Here's your fucking dick shit job. You feel fucking accomplished? You feel like you're adding to society? You feel like you're doing something important? Of course not! Of course not. And so as things went on, they paid you less and less. So not only are you not contributing, you're not even making dick out of it. And so at least they're having the fucking kindness out of their goddamn hearts to fire all of them and be like, you know what? Fuck y'all. We don't need you. We never did. We only hired you because politicians needed votes. And look at the jobs numbers. Look at the jobs. Wow. Unemployment is so low. Fuck that. Who gives a fuck about unemployment? It's not about how, why should I give a hot fuck about unemployment? Things are too expensive. That's the problem. Shit is way too goddamn expensive. I don't give a hot solid fuck about unemployment. I give a fuck that houses are $500,000, cars are $100,000. You go to a fucking grocery store, you spend $1,500, $2,000 a month. That's the problem. I don't care about unemployment. That's like saying slavery numbers are low and we need to bump them up. Why?
Must lose their job.
Why?
Doing some of the jobs that are being done today.
That's
the
right.
key word here is will. He's not saying AI agents are currently good enough to replace human workers. He's saying they will.
Well, they are to an extent, right? I mean, like to an extent they are. And automation and technology is going to replace workers everywhere. It's going to happen in a lot of different perspectives, not just in one way. It's going to happen overall. You're completely correct, because I work at UPS part-time for health insurance. I unload boxes off trucks. Yeah, of course.
Health insurance is a giant problem, too. Health insurance is a giant problem, and again, it's because of the laws, right? You shouldn't have to go to the hospital, and it costs $50 bajillion for you to get a fucking operation, if you get stitches or something like that. Oh, it's going to be $50 bajillion. Why? Who makes that? Do you make that? No. Who makes that? Where's that money going? Somewhere. It's going somewhere. Where the fuck? It's like when they build like a B-2 bomber, right? And you're spending $500 on a goddamn bolt? Why? Well, obviously it's to fund something that you're not allowed to be aware of. It's just disappearing into the ether. They're just not telling us. That money's going somewhere. This is why people go to Mexico to get operations and stuff like that, where it's like not even a tenth of the price. Right? Go to the freaking Mexico for dental work and shit like that. It's not even a tenth of the price. Some people have $20,000 deductibles and still pay $700 a month. When did it get out of control like that? I don't know.
Some people enjoy doing easy labor just to not use their brain. I guarantee you, if you gave that person the same amount of money and you told them you don't have to go to work, I bet they'd stop showing up.
Here's the thing. Yes and no. He's right. People need a reason to go to work. I don't come here. Look, I didn't have to come here tonight. I don't think I was going to make any money. I made a little bit of money, right? But I didn't come here to make money. All right. I came here because you guys give me a fucking hard time. And honestly, I think I'm actually doing something important by being here and fucking bitching about whatever I bitch about. But like when you go to Amazon and fucking put boxes from a conveyor belt under a truck, you don't feel like that. Right? That's a problem. This is why society is dying, because there's no meaning in people's work. Right? During the Elizabethan era, the Victorian era, people would go and make beautiful structures out of goddamn streetlights. Spend hours fucking intricately making leaves and stuff like that. And this is making my city more beautiful. And it's not about the money. It's about the work itself, right? Hours spending on a gargoyle for a fucking Notre Dame. Wasn't about the money. It was about making your city more beautiful. It was about contributing to the history of your city, your people, your country. And all that's gone. All that's gone. This is why society is dying. Because no one gives a fuck. Now it's just slavery that you have to pay your goddamn bills and your exorbitant medical insurance and however much it is you pay on groceries. Don't even make me ask, dude. It's like, I know it's expensive. That's the problem. Fuck the money. Honestly, fuck the money. People want meaning. People need meaning. And they don't have that anymore. That's sad. That's why society's dying. Because people don't have meaning in their jobs anymore.
Be
What are we
maybe
talking
in the
about?
future.
What do we
Probably in
what are we doing?
2025, we
Dan Snot says I can drive a forklift. I bet you can, buddy. I bet you can.
at Meta, as well as the other companies that are basically working on this, are going to have an AI that can effectively.
Dan Snot says John's day job is a Walgreens Photoshop associate. Yeah, I print people's pictures because it's fucking 2005. Hold on.
Be a sort of mid-level engineer
Yeah.
that you have at your company
That's
that can
pretty
write
good.
code. And then over time, we'll get to the point where a lot of the code in our apps, and including the AI that we generate, is actually going to be built by AI engineers instead
I don't think this guy's a human being.
of people engineers.
Again, the key words here. I think probably these are just hopes. They're laying off real human workers today, despite recognizing that AI cannot do a mid-level engineer's job.
Well,
But they're
exactly. That's why they're not laying off the mid-level engineers, but they are laying off the entry-level engineers. And so, like right now, AI can't do like
Anybody goes to school for engineering or like even like architecture or mathematics or like basic STEM fields that you would think would be like safe fields, right? And like other courses like humanities and stuff like that, the only reason they might be safe is because they're compulsory through government. Like, oh, you have to have 5 gay dudes telling you that your product is gay enough to hit the market. It's dying. It's crumbling. Hopefully it crumbles quickly. Hopefully there's a hard reset. And that's not going to be violence free, trust me. Right? It will not. It has never been violence free. It will be violent. But I just hope it's quick enough for us to transition and still be the same set of people, the same group of people to make it to the other side. But that doesn't seem very likely either.
basically they're trying to plot a trajectory for where their business is going to be. But at the,
Cheddar says, so glad I have my CDL. Yeah, that'll carry you through. Yeah, Ched. Because there's no way robots can drive a truck.
this current point in time, it is undeniable that AI can do some people's jobs. So right now it's doing some people's jobs, and later on it's going to be doing everybody's jobs or more people's jobs.
They're hoping one day it can. They're redirecting the money they used to pay real human workers
That's right.
into AI investments. They're
Yep.
betting on a future.
Another thing, like, it's so sad about Gen Z because the only real work they can get is sex work. Right? Imagine being a fucking 20-something-year-old girl and, like, what are you going to do? You going to be an OnlyFans? You going to have sex with some fucking 60-year-old boomer or some shit like that? Like, come on. If you're a fucking 20-year-old guy, you're dead. You're dead. There's no hope for you. You might as well be dead. I mean, honestly, living it with your parents and just completely giving up is the best option. I know, and your parents won't understand. Obviously, they won't understand because they made all this money for doing the bare minimum, right? Fuck it, right? Go play fucking Battlefield. Don't play Call of Duty because it's fucking hot trash. Play Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders is fucking sick. I've been playing a lot.
Future that hasn't
Laid
even
off
arrived
again.
yet. They could afford both employees and AI, but instead they're laying off workers right before the holidays after
That's right.
record profits,
That's
while
right.
the CEOs get richer from the very act
That's
of
right.
firing them. Because
That's exactly right. Welcome to the fucking show. And if it was your money that you had invested, I guarantee you that the companies that make those decisions would be the most highly invested in companies in the world. Because
You know what I hate? You know what I fucking hate? Is like, and it's really sad. You can't work for a future anymore. You can't go and lay down a 9 to 5, even if you're fucking doing construction or like masonry or like welding or some shit. Well, some welding. Yeah, you can make a lot of money doing that. But like on the whole, in general, you have to be some sort of gambler to make a life for yourself. You have to invest in the stock market and hit rich off of fucking crypto. Go off of fucking DraftKings and pick the right teams and shit like that. This is why so many people are addicted to gambling, because they see it as the only way out. And this is not how we build society. This is what I'm trying to do, is build society, build a comfortable life for my kids. I don't give a fuck about you. But in some weird way, I do. I do, because if you guys have a bad life, that means my kids are going to have a bad life. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? That without people like you having kids and creating a society around them, my kids won't have a good time, regardless of how wealthy or well off they are, right? It's just like Vegas. Without everybody else, the magic dies. I feel like this is a difficult concept for people that have already made it and then pulled the ladder up, right? They're like, we're rich. Only rich people matter. No. No, not at all. Not at all. Without the common man, without a base level of comfort and safety, then the entire system collapses. For a pyramid, you need a solid base. You can't just have fucking a bunch of slaves and then an upper echelon, whatever it's called. You can't do that. It'll collapse, and it has before a million times.
Is everybody is always generous with somebody else's money and somebody else's time. But when it comes time to make decisions for your 401k, to make decisions for your investments, you are going to want to maximize.
Gangware says, just when I think he's going to put a positive spin on the family subject, he says he doesn't care. I'm hurt. Don't be hurt. Our incentives align. Our incentives align. What is best for you is best for me. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing this. You don't think I'm doing this for the money, do you? Gang, do you think I'm doing this for the money? I don't know. What have I made? $10 tonight? $10. Not doing this for the money. There's a bigger issue at play here. I am trying to help you. I'm trying to help you. But mainly, I'm trying to help me and my family and my lineage. But it just so happens that the only way I can do that is to help you guys and to help society as a whole. That's the issue. That's how I do it. You know, the boomers had it good in the 60s, 70s, 80s. And everyone was around having fun, putting fucking quarters in the fucking Pac-Man machine or the Galaga or whatever bullshit and stuff like that. I want my kids to have memories like that. I don't want my kids having memories of traversing a dusty, forgotten land, raiding hospitals for the last oxygen bottle so they can fucking survive or some weird bullshit like that. Some post-apocalyptic bullshit like that. I don't know. I'm also not thinking straight. I don't feel good.
Your revenue. You are going to want to have a good rate of return.
Cheddar says we came for the copium, John. You want my copium? Do I seem like a copium guy? I don't think I've ever been a copium guy. Maybe I have. Maybe I have. Because I do have this general optimism that things are going to work out. I do. I really do. But, I mean, not without some pain. Not without some some work, and honestly, a few deaths.
For these executives, layoffs are a means to cut costs. And who costs
Cheddar says you seem to cope with life pretty well. I'm in a good position. I like my life. I've been blessed with certain things that most people haven't been blessed with. But that doesn't blind me to the fact that most people are suffering and that they don't need to suffer. Yes, I do fine. I'm happy. I'm generally pleased with how my life is going. There's tough times, don't get me wrong. I have my problems just like every human being does. But what I come here to do, I sit down every night and I don't explain my problems. I explain everybody's problems. The problems that we all are dealing with. And just because I'm in a situation where I don't have the problems directly, they do affect me. So yeah. Problems be problems. I don't know. Fuck it. I don't know.
costs the most? Senior employees. A perfect example of this that we saw earlier this year was when Microsoft let go of Ron Buckton. Now, if you're not a developer, you may not know who he is, but Ron spent 18 years...
Optimism is gay, says Shimo. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's what keeps you going. Having optimism that your life isn't always going to fucking suck ass is what keeps you going. You should have a reasonable level of optimism. But also, there's a reason to be optimistic. I promise you there is. There is a reason to be optimistic. Yeah, things have always worked out in the past. That's why we're here. That's why we're doing this. It just, shit kind of sucks now. Thank you, boomers, right? It's just, we've gone through the hard times because we had a weak generation destroy the country. That does not mean things aren't going to be good again. There's a reason for optimism. Might be harder now than it was in the past. Maybe, maybe not. But there is a reason for optimism.
Years at Microsoft, 10 of those years was spent working on TypeScript. TypeScript is used by over 5 million developers. I use TypeScript. The majority of the websites that you interact with use TypeScript. And despite Microsoft having over $245 billion in revenue for 2024, they still let Ron go. Was Ron...
Yep, that's right. They fired because they didn't need him.
Suddenly discovered to be a slacker after 18 years of promotions? Or is it that executives looked at a spreadsheet, saw his senior level salary, and decided that number was too big?
I do think that, to be fair, I'm in general in favor of AI and this what I think is kind of like a technological revolution. But I do think that they're overshooting right now. I think they're probably you shouldn't be firing people like that this early. Maybe there's a unique reason why, but
So Cheddar says, be greedy when others are fearful. That's a problem. This is a problem. We shouldn't have to do that. We shouldn't have to fucking get over on everybody else in society. We don't have the scarcity that they want us to think that we have. We have plenty of land. We have plenty of robots to work the land. We can make plenty of food. We can make plenty of houses and all that. The problem is laws. And they want you thinking that you can make it big if you just fucking invest in the right thing and do the right thing and you have the 1 in a million chance, but you shouldn't have to do that. You should be able to make your own life and just live your own life, but they're squeezing you. They're squeezing the life out of you. So fuck that thing where be greedy when others are fearful. You were right. You're right. If you want to live like that and game the system, you shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to game the system. Life is not really a game. It's not. They made it into a game to screw everybody else, to screw the losers. It wasn't always like this.
I do think they're probably overshooting and probably firing too many people too quickly. But I think that the inevitability of this is not to be denied.
And at the same time they're laying off senior workers, they're also eliminating junior positions. Between January and October of 2024, the unemployment rate for recent college graduates was 15.3% in their first year after graduation. This shows recent graduates are staying unemployed for longer, and they're applying to roles outside of their degrees just to land
That way, the interest from their student loans can go up.
Yeah,
that's
their
good.
first position. And it's not
great.
looking any better in other countries.
There are many graduates now that are coming out of universities, which means that there are more people that are graduating necessarily for the jobs that are there. I saw a rather shocking statistic in the UK earlier this week that was talking about the fact that last year there were 1.2 million graduates for 17,000 jobs, which starts to give you the idea of just how...
Then why the fuck do we keep importing people?
Competitive.
I know why. I know why. I know why. If you read somebody called Machiavelli, he says that when you want to undermine a nobility, you have to import and befriend an ulterior nobility, right? And then when that nobility comes to power, they'll be so indebted to you and so grateful to you that you will be in power for everything, right? So when they're importing Indians and stuff like that, they're going to be so grateful. They're going to do whatever you want them to do because, one, you have the power to deport them, right? You can take everything they have. You can ruin them and stuff. But you can't do that with the native nobility. Gaining control is about destroying the nobility. It's the same now as it was in the past.
That market has become. And on top of that, with AI, many of those graduate jobs are changing or are more difficult for people to get into.
Yeah, they're raising the barrier to entry to a higher level of intelligence.
Cheddar says, because data centers are being built which use 10 times the power a city uses. We don't have a problem with power. Power isn't the issue. Look, we can build nuclear power plants, a bunch of them, and it would supply all the power we would need for centuries. Power is not the problem. The reason we don't is, again, because of laws, right? It's very difficult to build a nuclear power plant, and instead we use petroleum and petroleum product, like fossil fuels and stuff like that, because we exist off the petrodollar, right? So if we don't use petroleum, then the petrodollar doesn't really make sense. This is why we give tons of money to Saudi Arabia and stuff. It would be better if we just used nuclear power, right? We have the technology, we have robotics and stuff like that. It would be no issue. The waste isn't a problem. Safety isn't a problem. Nuclear power, nuclear fission would solve everything. But Kissinger fucked that right up. Good job, Kissinger. So now we all have to use fucking gas and like natural gas and bullshit like that. It's stupid. So we would have plenty of power if we just used nuclear power. If we had a reasonable nuclear program. This is why submarines and aircraft carriers use it, because it's so efficient and it's effective. Power is not the issue. It has never been the issue. Them making fusion plants and stuff is a waste of time, and it is a distraction from the real issues that we have. They want you to lack power. This is why Mr. Burns had the nuclear power plant. This is why they made the China syndrome. There was an entire campaign to scare the public out of using nuclear power. And it's nonsense. Chernobyl was probably sabotaged. Fukushima as well. 3 Mile Island probably as well. This is true. This is true. Power is not the issue. We have the technology, but they won't let us use it. They won't let us use it.
Gents. See, there are some jobs that if you have an IQ of 81, you're not going to be able to do this job. Like, I don't care. Oh, well, what if we train them? No, you're just not going to be able to do the job. You can't train a dog to use a typewriter. You can't train a person to do some jobs. The more that this
You can't import an African and expect society to not be African.
Technology gets better, the higher that threshold will be. And you're going to have dumb people, less creative people, less critically thinking people, lower IQ people be completely removed from the job ecosystem. That's what's happening. It's happening right now.
Purcell used its best salesperson.
Like, you think about it like this, right? There used to be a retard that would sit there with a screwdriver and screw a bolt into a tire and get paid the equivalent of $75 an hour, live in a beautiful house, have every benefit that he wanted, have a family that he supported, 2 cars and a boat, and go on vacations. And that guy probably didn't even have a high school education. All he did was turn a nut on a bolt. Nowadays, that's done with a robot. Take his fucking back. Well, I'm telling you, right? Like that's what's going to happen. And so all those people, that's called labor. Yeah, but it's also called a robot does the same thing and you don't have to pay the fucking guy $75 an hour and then just tell him to get the hell out. Like, what do you mean? Like, and you would make this decision too. Everybody would make this decision when it comes to their own personal finances. That's my point. Everybody would do this themselves. Useless labor. Yeah. What do we do about it? Well, you have to tax companies that are using automation in a way that, you can redistribute the money into the population, right? I mean, that's what you have to do. But like, it's not going to happen. I think we're going to have to bring back somehow like slavery or something like that. Like, I don't know, maybe feudalism. It's one or the other. Maybe both. Or you could have a plague. Maybe all three.
To train an AI agent, allowing the company to reduce a 10-person team's work down to just 1 person managing the AI agent.
Remember what I said? This is exactly what I've said every single time. It's not replacing all 10 people. It's replacing 9 of them and giving the 1 person who's the best at the job the ability to do the job of all 10 people.
As a developer, I also see this. A lot of companies are now using AI agents to do the smaller JIRA tickets that usually a junior developer would do. But this means that they're effectively eliminating junior positions, while at the same time we have fewer senior employees because their salaries make them layoff targets.
Yes.
More seniors and retirees are returning to the workforce because they can't afford the cost of living on.
Another thing is boomers don't want to retire. It's the only reason they have to live, right? Is work, They didn't really spend a lot of time with their families or anything like that. Didn't cultivate any hobbies outside of the workplace. It was just their thing, right? And this doesn't mean they were so hardworking, because honestly they weren't. It's just they're in positions of seniority where they like the power, they like the respect that they get. Not from working, but just being born at a certain era, at a certain age. That's the only reason.
On their retirement funds or their social security.
Yeah, there's a lot of old boomers. Like, everybody jokes about how boomers, grew up in the greatest economy ever. But some people, even whenever they have an aimbot, they end up losing a match. So there are boomers that don't have a lot of money saved up.
That's a good point. That's a good point right there. Even when you have an aimbot, sometimes you lose the match. That's a perfect analogy for the boomers. They had aimbots. They were technically cheating their entire lives, right? But somehow, some of them still lost. Not all of them, but some of them definitely still lost. It sucks to suck, I guess.
And because of that, they end up being broke, and then they have to go back to work.
In fact, according to
they have to go back to work, like delivering pizzas and stuff. And it's so funny because they're like, oh, well, I'll just work my way back up and stuff like that. I'll deliver pizzas. And then I realize, like, oh, shit, things ain't the same. Things ain't the same. You can't work a summer job and afford a new car. You can't work a summer job and afford a year's worth of rent. That's not how it is anymore. No, You will be a slave for the rest of your life. You missed the train. It's over for you. That's it. You don't have a superhuman work ethic. You're not brilliant and like smarter than everyone else around you. You got lucky because simply the decade you were born in. And a lot of them don't understand this, but once you lose everything, once you fuck up, and then you're like, you can't make it back. It's mathematically impossible. You can't explain this to rich boomers. They won't accept it.
Department of Health and Human Services, people aged 50 and older are the fastest growing group of those experiencing homelessness.
Good. I have no sympathy. I have absolutely not even a drop of sympathy. If you absolutely fuck up your position in life, because look, they're constantly saying how the younger generation is just too lazy, just too entitled. They've been saying this for years. Avocado toast, lattes, Labubus, and bullshit like that. So I have no sympathy at all when somebody who's 60 or something years old ends up delivering pizzas. This was you fucking up something easy. Something that, and like, I can't even imagine like how it wouldn't be your fault. You could have easily afforded a house, 2 houses. What happened? What'd you do?
Honestly, that's so sad. That's actually so disgraceful. As the richest country in the world, the fact this is the case, this is a complete disgrace.
With that number expected to double by 2030.
I said triple. She said triple, not double.
This is my tent.
Yeah.
There's my kitchen.
Oh my God. She living out there in the woods.
Yes.
Like Robin Hood's band of merry men, and she's stealing from the rich to give to the poor, or she's just out there being poor. Now you're going to realize why everyone in Gen Z does drugs, right? Because you ain't got no hope, and there's nothing else to do but smoke that drug. You smoke the weed, you smoke the meth, have fun. You're out there in the woods, enjoy your life.
I am out in the woods.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But here's a little secret.
What's the secret?
I got plenty of privacy.
Because despite paying
Jesus, man.
into Social Security with every paycheck,
thank you for the raid, Grandma's boy.
That money isn't being saved for you. It's being used to pay for current retirees, and it's also not keeping up with the cost of living.
No, it's not even
The
close.
average monthly payment for retirees is $2,002. I'm not currently in the U.S., but even
2002. That seems pretty cheap. I'm not gonna lie, that seems pretty cheap.
even here in Stockholm, that wouldn't cover my rent. But
Stockholm, huh?
regardless, the U.S. government is considering increasing the retirement age to 69.
That's right. Yeah, they're going to do it.
Nice. 69. Nice.
Too. They're going to do it.
By many
Of course they're going to do it. Of course they're going to do it. Look, Social Security is going to be defunct by 2035. I don't think they plan on having all these boomers around by 2035. I think the old squirty squirt is going to finish them off within the next 5 or something years. So, but yeah, Social Security is a Ponzi scheme. It's a Ponzi scheme. And a lot of boomers rely on that. They're like, well, I paid into it, so that means I get every dime I'm entitled to. No, that's not at all how it works. That's not how Ponzi schemes work. You give them money, and then they steal that from you. That's how a Ponzi scheme works. Why are you all so goddamn retarded? I feel like strangling every boomer I meet because goddamn, are you retarded? Why are you so stupid? Why are you such fools? Why? How? How do you all think you're goddamn geniuses? But at the same time are such fools, even the rich ones. Especially the rich ones. How did you become so naive? Was it just because you've been handed everything your entire life, where everything is just all you had to do is roll over and grab money? It was that easy. You can't explain it to any of them. It's not even worth trying.
Workers claiming that employers are deeming them too experienced. A nice way for these companies to say that they don't want to hire you after 40. And actually, Workday, that horrible job application software, they're being sued with applicants alleging the company's AI disqualified them because they were over 40.
So I made a post about over a month ago talking about how I was laid off at 50, being at the peak of my career.
50? I mean, you do kind of look like Michael Jackson.
And thousands of you.
It's like, what is this? Like that movie, whenever you reach like 100 or like a certain age, to just instantly kill you. It's like, all right, happy birthday.
Logan's Run.
You're dead. You're fired.
Saying you're going
And it was 30, 35, something like that.
through the same thing. They say you're too overqualified. Again, you're not going to be happy here. I even had someone make a comment saying that they went to Trader Joe's to try to get a job and they were denied because they are.
Says the rich ones I hate the most. Yeah, me too. Me too, because they're entitled. They're entitled because they think that they're wealthy, that they worked harder and are smarter than the rest of the population, which is just impossible.
They're overqualified.
It's 2025.
They are the worst of the worst.
New reality is that people in their mid-50s, late 50s are the new unemployables. It's almost impossible. Almost impossible.
You see, it's so funny because all these people in their late 50s are like, oh, I'm unemployable because I'm in my 50s and stuff like that. That's a problem. Not realizing that people in their 20s aren't getting jobs. Nobody's getting jobs, retard. It's not because you're 50. It's because you're a human being. And human beings aren't getting jobs these days because it's impossible, stupid. It's not that you're 50. It's not. It doesn't help. Don't get me wrong. But plenty of people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, none of them are getting jobs. But you want to be like, oh, it's because I'm old. It's ageism. You know, ageism over the age of 45 is illegal. You know that, right? No, you don't. Okay, you're fucking retarded. You're retarded. Absolutely. It's never been a boomer's fault. Never, ever, ever. They've always understood everything, and nothing has ever been their fault whatsoever in their entire lives. This is why their kids are always so fucked up. The kids of boomers are the most fucked up people I have ever seen in my life. Ever. They're the most fucked up people ever. And it's the boomers, it's just not their fault. Not my fault. My kids raised themselves. That's the problem. They're just entitled. It's not my fault. It's not me living the high life, fucking eating shrimp cocktails on the fucking yacht or anything like that. It's their fault because they didn't work hard enough like I did. God damn. It's disgusting. I am disgusted every time I see it. And trust me, I see it a lot. I see it a lot.
To land another job at your current level. You can almost kiss it goodbye. They can say ageism is illegal all they want. They can make believe that it's kumbaya and we love everybody and we're all equal. And no, it doesn't work like that.
If that's the case, how exactly are we supposed to work until we're 70 if these companies stop hiring people around the age of 40? And more graduates.
You're going to be turned into a...
Stop hiring people around the age of 20. People aren't getting hired at all. Hired at all.
A battery, so you can power a robot that washes a rich person's shoes.
Are now switching to
Dan Snot said, I've had the same job for damn near 20 years. Can't imagine how bad the job market is now. And it's 40, John. Okay.
to trade jobs, meaning that blue-collar workers are now competing against white-collar workers for the same handful of trade jobs. We've seen at least 180,000 government employees let go, and now we see senior FANG.
Yeah, here's another problem. Like, apparently a large portion of the U.S. economy is based on the U.S. government. Like, why are so many people... First of all, why do 40 million people live off of SNAP? 40 million people live off of food, welfare and stuff. And then another so odd million, I don't know, 20 million people live off of government jobs and stuff. IRS, DMV, fucking whatever you want. So you telling me like half of the economy is just living off the government? And don't tell me like the IRS is necessary, the DEA is necessary, the fucking the ATF and shit. Come on. What happened to the private sector? You're fucking squeezing it dry because you demand so much money, half of everyone's dollar, like 50% of everyone's money. So you can give fucking fake jobs to fucking assholes? Come on, dude. I don't run this country, but I swear to God, it'd be a lot better if I did. It would be a lot better if I did.
Employees re-entering the job market after layoffs.
I'm a recent college grad looking for a job, and today I learned that not only are we competing with all of the people last year who couldn't get jobs, we are also competing with people who are currently working in entry-level jobs and looking to switch companies because their companies aren't promoting them because the market is so bad. A recruiter I just got.
Can you guys like run the hashtag Sulk for president? Can I become president? Not that I want power or anything like that, because I think people who want power are fucking dickheads. It's not that I want power. It's just like, I feel like I could do a much better job. Like, even like fucking half in the bag. Like, I can come home, I can come to work fucking with 3 drinks deep. In the first thing in the morning, I'd be like, you guys are fucking retarded. Why would you do fire everybody? Fire everybody. Section 8 no longer exists. SNAP is gone. Fire everybody. What the fuck is in Israel? I don't care about them. Glug, glug, glug. Right? I would have this ship running fucking tight in a month. Sulk for president. Run it. Run that shit.
Got off the phone with told me that I'm going up against someone who has 2 years of postgraduate full-time work experience.
This same thing happened, like if you're around my age, you know this same thing happened whenever we were like all 21 to like 24. Because like back then, that's whenever the recession happened after 2008. And it was almost
I was 20.
Impossible to get a job back then.
I was 20. I was 20 years old. Yep. And it was. Mm-hmm.
Like you were competing against people that had 5 or 10 years of experience, and it was.
Shimo says, "I will vote for anyone who isn't a boomer." Well, it makes sense because the only people that weren't boomer for I think it was Joe Biden. He was a silent generation, and Reagan, who I think was also silent generation. Those are the only 2 non-boomer presidents in my lifetime.
It's like, okay, well, how am I ever going to get a job when every job...
Dan Snot says, President Sulk rides his e-bike to the White House. No, stupid. I would live in the White House. Stupid. Why are you so stupid? Why are you so stupid?
Has like 4 applicants, and you know you need to have experience to get experience, but you don't have any experience, so you can't get any experience, and you can't get any experience because you don't have any experience. It's like
Despite says he's 26, so you're 6 years old now.
Unemployment catch-22 that keeps people like her and any other young person that's graduating college in this like limbo. And what happens is that now they have their student loan debt that's compounding and building on top of itself. So the amount of money that they had that they're supposed to be offsetting, it's kind of like, I mean, just the way that interest works, right? Is that it becomes worse and worse and worse the bigger it is, right? The bigger it is, the bigger it gets. The smaller it is, the less quickly it becomes larger, right? Like basically, right? Because just the way that the interest works. And so now they're basically having like this, like a 5% bonus being put on top of their entire loan because they can't make any of their money back. Yeah, it's gatekeeping. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Wait, doesn't this collapse the consumer market itself? Well, no, because you're going to have rich people that have all the money.
Yeah. I mean, rich people are not getting poorer. Rich people are getting richer. And it's not like, look, if you're not born with money, you're not going to have money. That's it. Focus. There we go. If you're not born with money, you're not going to have money. I don't like, even if you like work hard your entire life, become a doctor and shit like that. It's just like the chances of you actually being able to have one of those nice houses you see in the horror movies, it's just like slim. It's a slim shot. And so like I understand there's a lot of people out there that are not working their hardest because there's no fucking reason to. There's no reason to. You're not going to be rich. You're not even going to be moderately successful. There's no reason to put like half of your life away into just making some other fucking already rich asshole even richer. And then the rich people are like, well, that's why you'll never afford a house. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. That's a self-fulfilling prophecy. No, it's not, you fucking idiot. It's mathematics. It's logic. It's reason. You're not smarter than everybody in another generation. Please, 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 please understand. They will not, though. They will not understand. They never will. They are the enemy. They are the ones that are keeping you down. What are you going to do about it? I'm not suggesting anything, but this is a fact. They want you poor. They want to extract every ounce of life force you have. I don't know what to do. I'm not offering solutions.
I just don't know how I'm supposed to compete with that.
So let me get this straight. We have retirees, new graduates, blue collar and white collar, government employees, senior FANG employees, all fighting over a dwindling number of jobs. And at the same time
That's
that everyone's trying to find a job, inflation is out of control. The cost of living the past...
Inflation's out of control. Dwindling jobs is a understatement. Is a gross understatement. And if you don't have anything, you'll never have anything. There you go.
Past 5 years just keeps increasing.
I want to see if anybody else is experiencing this. So last year, my homeowner's insurance for the year was $3,018. Year before that, it was $2,600.
Homeowner's insurance, huh? Damn.
Year before that, $2,200. Year before that.
So it went up?
At $2,100. I've owned this house for...
So it went up by like...
Insurance is a scam. I'm not the first person to say that. Insurance is a scam. They can charge you whatever you want, and then it's the law that you have it. So it's the law that if you want to own anything, if you want to own a car or anything, you have to pay these people.
It went up by 50% in 3 years.
4 years. This year, my homeowner's insurance is over $6,000. No claims. In the last 4 years, I've never had a claim against the house I'm living in now. But my insurance doubled. Homeowners insurance doubled year over year with no claims.
Yet wages...
$500 a month. $500 a month for fucking homeowners insurance. Shit, it's starting to look like health insurance, isn't it? $500 a month for something you never claimed ever. And your house is probably in a very safe place. You'll never, ever make a claim. $500 a month. And that's like fucking, you also have property tax, right? You have property tax, which is like probably also exorbitant. That's just for your fucking house. It's not even for you. That's not your health insurance and shit like that. Your family health insurance or anything like that. The taxes that you have to fucking pay just to fucking survive. Come on. Come on. Don't fucking piss on our feet and tell us it's raining. You're trying to kill us. You're trying to make it so we don't have shit for property. You're trying to do it so we don't have shit for freedom. Because if you don't have property, you don't have anything. If you don't have private property, you don't have freedom. If you can't own anything, then you are constantly under the thumb of some giant corporation that can decide to cut you off at any point. You make a bad decision, gone. You make a statement that's not completely supported, gone. They did the same thing with the fucking truckers up in Canada. They cut off payment processing, which should be a crime. Should be an absolute crime. But since it's in Canada, it doesn't matter because, you're not allowed any sort of free speech up there. Thank God we have the Constitution. Thank God. But they're trying to whittle us away for every fucking thing we have down here. How long, boys? How long? How long are we going to put up with it? Not forever. Guarantee it. Not forever.
This is why people like socialism. This is why people want communism. This is why people want revolutions. This is why people become extremists, is that they have something like that happen to them. They are enjoying an almost comfortable life, and then they have all of the life squeezed out of that and then redistributed to these companies that are basically extorting them for money, robbing them for
extortion.
Money. And I think this is also it's happening all the way down the line.
At one here's my question. Here's my question. At one point, is everybody going to say, this is mine, no you can't take it? When property taxes come, when insurance prices fucking skyrocket, and then they come fucking knocking at your door and be like, your house belongs to us now. At what point are people going to fucking rack that shotgun and be like, no, you can't fucking take it. This is mine. This belongs to me.
It is.
Aren't keeping up with the cost of living, despite us seeing both Apple and Microsoft hit.
And good. God bless those people. Those first people who fucking racked the shotgun and fucking, pointed at and be like, no, this is mine. I paid for this. This is mine. It's not yours. It's mine. I'm an American. I have rights. I'm not a European. I'm not a subject of the crown. I'm an American citizen. Fuck, for all the Canadians and Europeans and Australians, I don't know about you guys. You guys are fucked. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have sympathy all day long for you guys, but I have no idea what you're going to do. But an American human being has a right to property, has a right for the pursuit of happiness. And they are taking that from you.
A $4 trillion valuation. And meanwhile, our representatives are telling us that inflation is only 3%, yet they're not explaining the bigger picture. Inflation may be 3% this year, but what was it last year and the year before? They're not adding on all the prior years, because the reality is inflation rarely decreases. And in fact, it benefits the governments to have inflation.
Well, you have fractional reserve banking, you have...
Well, no, I'm not going to... Look, inflation helps the government because we're, $38 trillion in debt. And so, here's the thing. Here's the little sneaker about that. Sure, we're $38 trillion in debt. But if we make the dollar essentially worthless, then we owe you $38 trillion worthless dollars. Suckers, eat it. But that makes us all lose. That makes us lose. Fucking retirement accounts, IRAs, 401ks. Anybody who's ever saved for anything. Makes us all lose. Unless you have assets. Unless you have houses, businesses, stocks, bonds. Right? The rich. They're going to make more money. This is why everyone is fucking cheering on fucking inflation and shit like that. Because it makes debt disappear. But it fucks over us. You, me, everybody.
Have inflation. It really, I mean, money, it's always going to just keep.
Arden Shara says it's all fake anyways. We'll be fine after bullets start flying. You're right. You're absolutely right. But that means people will die. I don't plan on dying. If there's a war here, I'm going to pack my shit, pack my family, and I'm gone. Fucking some guy comes to my in fucking military fatigues, comes and knocks on my door, says you're getting drafted. I'll be like, the fuck I am, and I'm hopping on a plane and leaving forever. Trust me, I'm not going to be able to sit here and be like, I'm a patriot, yes sir, I'm going to go fucking die on some beach far away from where I fucking live. Fuck you. Fuck you so hard. Fuck you so hard. No. Done nothing for me. You've done nothing for me. Why should I do a goddamn thing for you? Anyways, guys, thanks for coming. I hope you enjoyed tonight. I hope you guys take into account what I said. I'll be on Daywave tomorrow, and then right back here on the Sulk stream at 8 p.m. tomorrow night. Even if I feel sick or hungover or whatever it is, I don't give a shit. I'm here for you. I'm here for the people. So, hit the like button, hit the share button, do all those things. I hope you guys have a fantastic night. Stay strong, stay motivated. Don't let the man keep you down. And until tomorrow, drink a little water, get a good night's sleep, and take care of yourselves. Because I care about you too. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Love you. Good night.
I'm an incredible soul, unhinged and enraged like a bulldog's fierce growl. I'm spitting fire, burning through these trees, questioning the world, unraveling conspiracies. Talking about Bigfoot, but I guess monster too.
It's Nightwave Radio.
I'm diving deep into this rabbit hole, uncovering the truth, setting fire to their control. I got small nipples, but my voice is loud, going like thunder in this crazy crowd. They say I'm crazy, but I call it woke, unraveling the madness with every word I spoke.